I'm Zach Bernard with WBOI News. Fort Wayne's Old Crown Brass Band, an all-volunteer group modeled after traditional British brass bands, is celebrating its 10th anniversary Sunday with a concert at IPFW's Reinhardt Music Center. For a look at the passion that drives their performances, WBOI's Julia Meek spoke with band founders Sam Nagy and Eric Schweikert to learn about why this early 19th century tradition, what it means to its dedicated members.
Eric Schweikert, Sam Nagy, welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations, first of all, on your Old Crown Brass Band 10-year milestone. Why did this whole adventure speak to you two?
Sam and I had been serving on an education committee for the Philharmonic, and one of the ideas was that the Philharmonic does side-by-side with the youth orchestra. It had been on my mind that band directors in the region always listed their instrument that they played in the Indiana Bandmasters directory. And I thought, wouldn't it be great if we did a side-by-side with adults, because they always need professional development. That idea didn't really go anywhere with the Philharmonic, but then Sam and I, over some beverages later, started talking about other ensembles that exist that could put adults, avid amateurs, and professionals to work. And the British Brass Band came to mind, and we were, between us, able to rattle off 10 names of adults that would probably play that were not necessarily playing in the groups that already existed in Fort Wayne. So we thought maybe this might be a good laugh to try to get a band together and see if we could get all these people to come in and participate. That's how it started.
And I have to mention and give credit to Britt, who had moved to our community, a fellow named John Tite. He was actively playing in the community band, and he talked to us also about starting the brass band. He wanted to get that going here too. So
let's talk about your band name, Old Crown. Cheers. You mentioned you were having some drinks when all this whole discussion started. So why Old Crown?
Well, we were in a location where there were beverage advertisements up on the wall and talking about what should we name this group. And I looked up and there was Old Crown on the wall, which of course was one of the products of the Centlever Brewery. I felt like that incorporated the British sound and also a local influence on our band's name.
And cheers all the way around.
That's
yeah,
right.
That's perfect. So you've got 35 members, 10 horn varieties, the whole percussion section. It's an impressive roster. What about the skill sets and backgrounds in this group?
A lot of the players are active music educators. Some of them retired music educators as well. There are some professional musicians and some avid amateurs. It's a band that requires quite a bit of dedication from everyone to keep their chops in shape and play. I like to sum the band up as a group of musicians having a lot of fun, being very serious about their music making.
That makes sense, and it shows in your band. Okay, British Brass Band contesting is highly competitive. I realize that. What about your version of it?
Our version is controlled by the North American Brass Band Association, NABA, and they have a yearly competition. The way we got involved in it, first we just wanted to feel like we were competent enough just to show up and compete, which we did. That was in Grand Rapids 5 years ago. It came about that NABA is in Fort Wayne because the notification came out that they were putting in bids for where the competition would be held. And when the new hotel was built at the ball field, that doubled the hotel rooms downtown. And of course, that's all linked to the embassy. So we thought that the embassy would be a great primary performance venue with easily accessible second venue in the Grand Wayne Center and enough hotel room to accommodate everyone. So we put the task to Visit Fort Wayne, who sold them a package that they basically couldn't refuse. We got a bid for 2 years, and then we got another 2 years. So this year will be the fourth consecutive year, and then we bid again, and we were awarded another 3. So we'll have a total of 7 years hosted in Fort Wayne, and all of the visiting bands seem to really like coming here.
It speaks well for your organization, but just personally, and I guess I'm asking about your own competitive spirits. Is this fun for y'all?
Oh, I think it's fun, and it's been an important part in the development of the band as far as raising our standards and making it a more beautiful sounding ensemble, I think, because we have to listen and pay attention to things that maybe we wouldn't ordinarily.
What about relevancy? Do you need to step it up to fit into the 21st century music groove, or is that 19th century sensibility, if you will, its own days gone by attraction?
I think it's still relevant today because, as in its past, if a band was formed in a factory and it has its basis in labor, it was a way to keep the men satisfied and keep labor unrest down with activities, and there wasn't a lot to do in some of these remote villages. The bands served a very important role culturally because they were present at celebrations and other cultural events of the village, and the band was sometimes the only vehicle that people in those villages heard any classical music at all. Today, the brass band is very flexible. It can play those things, and it can also play pop songs. Anything can really be arranged for a brass band. So you can make it as serious or as fun as you want, and usually, ideally, a mixture of both. A little something for everyone. Everyone can go away with having heard something that they can hum to.
Eric Schweikert and Sam Nagy are founders of the Old Crown Brass Band. Eric, Sam, thank you so much for joining us today, and cheers to 10 great years.
Yes, cheers.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.